Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, Executive Editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with fabulous concert programs, number 104. Oh, my goodness. And it's American Neo-Classicists number 8. And in this program, we are adopting the wider view of American Neoclassicists because I know it hasn't happened yet. Somehow I've slid under the door. When I say American, everyone figures I mean the United States. But of course, America is much wider. And I don't want to be a cultural chauvinist. Well, I sort of am, but I don't want to be. So we're going to take into account Latin America as well. We're going to sort of broaden our horizons just a bit because I think there's tons of fabulous Latin American neoclassicist composers as well, and we should mention them too. So we're going to be doing that in this program. But I have to say something else, which I think is kind of fascinating, actually. You know, what kind of amazes me is that I've been doing these programs, and I keep saying these are programs you're never going to hear live. They're also videos that nobody watches. I know if you're watching it, you do, so you're not the person I'm talking about, but it fascinates me that, for example, I can do a video that includes an interview with my mother, and it becomes like the most popular thing I've ever done. But then when I talk about fascinating music and repertoire and suggest people listen to things, everyone tunes out. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. I understand perfectly that no matter what I say about the joys of music listening and the joys of discovering new music and looking for new music, the bottom line is people only care about what they care about, and they don't give a damn about anything else, and they care about my mother. And I'm very honored by that. I really am, because I care about my mother tremendously. So that was fun. But gee whiz, I do wish that things like the Haydn Symphony Crusade, these programs that encourage you to go and discover and listen, I wish that more people would tune into them. I really, really do. And I'm not saying that to complain. I'm just expressing that wish and that acknowledgement of the reality, which is, of course, there are only so many hours in the day, and people are going to do what they damn well please. And that's the way it is. So here we are with American Neoclassicists number 8, and we begin with one of the great, I mean great, the ultimate American neoclassical symphony that nobody knows. It's Jerome Moross's Symphony No. 1. He only wrote one, and this is it. Now, Jerome Moross was a wonderful composer. He was a friend of Henry Cowell and Copland and all of those people. I mean, he was really in the center of American musical life. He was a populist in the best sense. I mean, a natural composer of wonderful, wonderful tunes and things. He did great film scores. He did The Cardinal. He did The Big Country. You know The Big Country. Da 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 da. You know, and he didn't even have to pretend to write faux Western music. That's what he did. I mean, that was his style. And in fact, I have a recording of it here because I was listening to it just the other day. I dug it out. It was originally on Koch, and it was the first symphony, and it's been reissued on Albany, so it exists, and you should get this amazing disc. It's got Symphony No. 1, his ballet, The Last Judgment, which is marvelous, and his variations on a waltz, which is equally marvelous. These were all composed in the 1940s and 50s. This is with the London Symphony under Joanne Falletta. They were originally on Koch, now they're on Albany. There were 2 discs of Moross's music. Here's the other one. This one's still on Koch. It's got his other ballet, Frankie and Johnny, his ballet. This is with the New Zealand Symphony and Joanne Falletta, and Begin and A Tall Story for Orchestra, and his concerto for flute and string orchestra. Delicious piece of music. Anyway, here he is, Jerome Moross. He's amazing. And this first symphony, I just have to tell you, why is it so cool? Why is it the epitome of American neoclassicism? Well, because each of the movements has a title. The title is Theme and Variations, Sonata Scherzo, and then Invention, which is a 2-part invention. It's Bachian. That's the slow movement, and then the finale is a fugue. I mean, the tunes are so catchy, but the forms are vintage neo-baroque, neoclassical. It's an amazing piece of music. It's beyond delightful. It'll bring a grin to your face that's like that wide. It's only 20 minutes long and 4 movements. It's extraordinary. So that's what we open the program with, because it's short. It's so great. You just, no one will program it. It's impossible. It just makes me crazy. Next, Julian Orbón, the fabulous Cuban, Spanish, Cuban, American type composer guy who had like so many Spanish type composers, had this tiny little output, really teeny tiny. His music is marvelous. There's a couple discs of it, principally on Dorian, but his Concerto Grosso for string quartet and orchestra, neoclassical on its face. Wonderful, wonderful work, powerful and exciting and tangy, and Stravinsky goes to Mexico sort of thing. It's splendid. So that's the first half. You get your symphony, you get a concerto. And then we have intermission. And after that, we come back and we do Chávez, his Sinfonia India. Oh, what a great piece that is. It's his most popular work. It's only like 12 minutes long. It's really overture length. And it's full of Latin percussion. And is it a real symphony? Well, no. But Chávez, he was a neoclassical symphonist, no question about it. He was also a romantic nationalist and lots of other things besides. But when he did symphonies, we can lump him in there just for the sake of having a good time. And I'm all for having a good time. And after the Chávez Sinfonia India, that's another one with wonderful tunes. Da 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 do 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 do. Oh, never mind. Da 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 da. I can't get it out of my head now. Chadwick, George Whitfield Chadwick, part of the American earlier, not quite 20th century. Well, he lived actually well into the 20th century, but he wrote 3 excellent romantic symphonies, the third, which is particularly marvelous and quite Dvorak-y. But I don't want to do that. I want to end with something that's not a symphony. I want to have some fun, more fun. Not that symphonies aren't fun, but after the Moross symphony, we have a high fun bar. You know what I mean? We have to really up the ante to get the fun quality in there. And I want to do his symphonic sketches. It's just a great work. It never gets played. It's symphonic. That for me is enough to qualify it as neoclassical or neo-romantic, and it's programmatic, and it's just great. Oh, this is such good music. It's all such good music. The only piece that actually gets played once in a while, I think, is the Sinfonia India. That we hear occasionally. The rest of this stuff, never. Never. And it makes me crazy. So there you go, my friends. Program number 104, more American Neoclassicists. And do check out my little music chat of this same epoch, this same period of time, on how the American Neoclassicists, and all of them actually, the symphonic Neoclassicists, got screwed by modern programming tendencies. If I want to call it laziness. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.